Hello everybody, welcome to the Week Ahead News Show. This week it will just be me, Liam, here today. I'm here on the Week Ahead News Show on Billy Doodle channel. It's episode 63, it's currently first day of June 1st, 2026. Hope everyone's having a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Support any way you can on Facebook's description. We'll get more posts on there coming up here soon. Ring that bell if you want to be notified whenever we go live. Next up, we'll be going up to a weather. Let's get that going. I do want to restart both real quick. Hope everyone's having a great start to your week. Welcome back. We were missing last week because of Memorial Day. Took the day off. Me and Tommy got back from Indy that day, so I wanted to relax a little bit. Let's get right into it, guys. Right now, our high today was 75, a low of 46. Tuesday, tomorrow, we are sunny, high of 74, low of 50. Wednesday, also sunny, a high of 77, low of 49. Nice highs, getting hotter here Thursday. Partly cloudy on Thursday, high of 81, low of 53. Friday, even hotter, partly cloudy Friday. I'll help out a little bit, but a high of 83, low of 60. Getting a high, almost mid-80s. Saturday, getting some rain, 65% chance of rain, high of 82, low of 60. Saturday, Sunday, we said Saturday. Sunday, we have 85% chance of rain, a little bit more, and then going out of the 80s, 79 high, and a low of 64. Next Monday, we have a 65% chance of rain, kind of like Saturday, high of 77, low of 63. Right now, it feels like 59 degrees. It's currently 64 degrees. For a moon, it's in morning gibbous. 97% illumination or moonrise. Our next full moon's in 28 days. We just had a full moon a couple days ago. Our moon set is at 6:17 a.m. and our moonrise is at 10:32 p.m. Next full moon, like I said, 28 days. We had a full moon. When was this? Yeah, yesterday. Awesome. Sunset, we'll go into that real quick. First light today was at 5:19 early today. With sunrise today about 5:52 a.m. Sunset today, it will be at 8:49 p.m. here soon, and last light at 9:22 for total daylight of 14 hours and 56 minutes. We're getting to our highest, which is on June 21st, longest daylight of 15 hours and 8 minutes, which is awesome to see. I'm sorry, it looks like my capture on that broke too, but we'll be able to go over a little bit more. And let me fix capture on this one too, because, there we go. Sorry about that. Alright, let's keep going. We're going to stocks. So we have stocks for today above us. It looks like minor gains for the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500, and a minor loss for the Russell 200. So let's go over the last week. The Dow was actually about minus 110 points. With the NASDAQ being up 527 points. S&P 500 from the last week was up 88 points. And the Russell 200 index was up 9 points. So all a little bit different based on their indexes. Let's see a little bit more. Alright. We'll keep going on to it. Since it's just me, we'll have one national, one local, and a funny topic for the day. Our first funny topic, or only funny topic for the week, but first topic for the week, is how Trump's floating. He's going to cancel his Freedom 2050 concert, or 250 concert, after a lot of artists have left, or major artist exodus. It's one of the stranger political pop culture stories of the week, involving Donald Trump, a planned patriotic concert series, and a growing list of musicians that are planning to leave. It centers around the Freedom 250 concert, a part of the Great American State Fair planned for Washington, D.C. I wonder why I have to say state. Like Great American State, a Great American Fair would be pretty dope. To celebrate America's 250th birthday. In 2026, because we still have state fairs, so I'm like, that'd be cool if they had their own, big fair. The event was originally promoted as a nonpartisan national celebration featuring several well-known music acts. I think it was, Salt and Pepper, Vanilla Ice, probably Kid Rock, a bunch of other people. But shortly after the lineup was announced, artists began canceling one after another. Among those who reportedly backed out was Martha McBride, Bret Michaels for Commodores, but I don't think there's many for Commodores like original left. Young MC, Morris Day, and members of the CNC Music Factory. I don't know why these people. Several performers said they were either unaware of the event's ties to Trump or felt the event had become more political than originally presented. Others cited concerns about safety, backlash, and the increasing partisan atmosphere surrounding the celebration. Not really bipartisan, as cancellations piled up. Trump responded in classic Trump fashion by suggesting that the concerts might not happen at all. He might take them all away. And obviously he posted this on Truth Social. He argued that instead of paying for what he called overpriced performers, organizers should scrap the musical acts and replace the entire thing with a giant Make America Great Again rally. He loves rallies, you know how it be. He even joked that he could headline the event himself, claiming he draws bigger crowds than Elvis Presley. Oh, holy hell, that's funny, bro. It's funny because, like, he is for president, and that was, like, 70 years ago, but ain't no way. On average, ain't no way. And obviously Trump probably did more, but, Elvis, probably drew large crowds for what he did. That's crazy to me, the comparison. Funny. The comments immediately exploded online. Trump supporters largely celebrated the idea, arguing that many Americans would rather hear a speech from the president than watch celebrities as they view politically hostile. I don't believe that at all. That's kind of dumb. Most Americans, at least, won't like that. Have something fun. It's supposed to be a fair. We don't really need a big speech. Critics, meanwhile, turned the situation into a meme festival, joking that Trump had become a replacement act after getting ghosted by half the lineup. Social media quickly filled with fake concert posters, parody tour announcements, and jokes about Trump launching his own stadium tour. That'd be kind of cool. Despite the turmoil, the broader Great America State Fair is still scheduled to take place from late June into July, with exhibits, state pavilions, pretty cool, fireworks, and other events planned on the National Mall. Some performers, including Vanilla Ice and Flo Rida, are still expected to appear. Thank God. Flo Rida, huh? What year is it? That's just funny. And it makes sense why he's trying to make that place more fancy too, probably, for all of this. The big question is now whether Freedom 250 remains a concert series at all, or whether it evolves into something much closer to a political rally. Maybe what we saw with Turning Point, which would be funny. So, a National One topic is kind of about spending and stuff going on right now. It's for Supreme Court tariff fallout. If you've been seeing tariffs all over X, Reddit, cable news, political podcasts, all over social media this week, it's one of the largest economic and constitutional battles of the Trump presidency. Has just entered a new phase. Back in February, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in 6-3 that President Trump exceeded his authority when he imposed broad global tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. I didn't get money back yet. The court essentially said that while the president has significant trade powers, imposing sweeping import tariffs or taxes on nearly every country requires authorization from Congress. The ruling invalidated a large portion of Trump's 2025 tariff program, one of the only things he did in 2025. But fast forward to this week, businesses have already received more than $20 billion in refunds, but courts are now deciding who gets refunded and how much. Estimates now suggest governments could eventually owe between roughly $85 billion and $166 billion on how the litigation unfolds and rip all that money Trump was boosting he got in. The largest development, and one reason why it's exploding all over online, is that the Trump administration announced it will appeal a court order that allowed all affected importers to seek refunds, not just for companies that originally filed lawsuits. That appeal could potentially delay or limit repayments, and obviously more people get it, and you don't have to spend money on lawyers, and that hurts, you know what I mean? If you have to actually sign up for it instead of just giving back to everyone, it's a lot more work. Why this matters, it's a bigger issue than tariffs at the core. It's a fight about three questions. Who controls the trade policy? Congress or the president? Or both? Maybe they should work together. Should businesses get back money collected under a policy later ruled illegal? Agreed, and we should too as people if we bought stuff. War over tariffs, helping American manufacturing or hurting consumers. It was only a year, so in my opinion, there probably wasn't that much to see yet, because that's something that building back here in America, factories and stuff, it takes decades to do, and we didn't see that much change in a year. People on the right, with conservative commentators, MAGA influencers, and many Trump supporters, have largely framed the ruling as a blow to American leverage against foreign competitors. A common argument trending online include the court took away a key economic weapon. Still could be, if you could agree with Congress. Unelected judges are making economic policy, and it's fine when they do policy they're fine with, so that's hypocritical. When Trump elected, two of these judges? Bottom up. They didn't elect them, but nominated them. President they love. Refunding billions is a gift to big corporations, which it is. And it's funny because, we got called socialists 10 years ago, Democrats, and now we see all over everywhere, Republicans agreeing that, big business is bad, big pharma is bad. So it's funny. They're memeing online about how China's winning, and it's just fun. it's funny. And the Supreme Court just outsourced jobs. Congress has decided to fix trade, and now suddenly cares. And maybe that's kind of stuff back with NAFTA, but once again, they should agree. Jokes comparing tariff refunds to government rebate programs for large corporations, and that's what it was, except Trump knew that because his lawyers probably told him that, and he still did it. He just wanted to help out his buddies with the money. What the left is saying, Democrats and anti-tariff economics are celebrating ruling both to a constitutional economic victory, that the courts reined in an executive overreach. Consumers were paying for the tariffs. We saw, I like watches. We saw watch prices go significantly up in that time, and it's just crazy to me because it was because of the tariffs. We saw the companies talk about it. Prices could finally come down. Trending liberal memes right now are, turns out tariffs for taxes. Congress exists for a reason. Screenshots of price increases from 2025 compared with refund season, or paired with refund season. Mock celebrations of businesses receiving checks from the government. So that's funny. And it's interesting to see if the tariffs actually work. Supporters say some manufacturing investment increases. Companies reconsidered supply chains. They didn't do it, though. And China faced greater pressure. This pressure, though. Critics say costs were illegally passed on to American consumers, which we saw. Supply chains became more expensive, and the economic gains were smaller than advertised, which is really true. What will happen next? Appeals over who qualifies for refunds, additional lawsuits from the businesses, debate whether Congress should explicitly authorize new tariffs, and potential consumer price cuts for some realtors. So it's so funny that Trump, even as his second time running for president, is so bad, and being president, third time running, that he's wasting time. It's been a year, and if he goes back and has to talk with Congress, what he should have been doing originally a year ago, he's just wasting 2 years of his presidency. It blows my mind. Potential consumer price cuts from some realtors, which we of course see, and the Trump admin efforts, whether to use trade laws or continue local trade policies. The bottom line is really if a Supreme Court tariff case has evolved from a legal dispute into a political, economic, and cultural flashpoint. The right sees court limiting Americans' trade leverage and weakening signature Trump policy. The left sees a constitutional correction and a chance to reverse higher costs imposed on consumers. Meanwhile, businesses are focused on one thing, collecting on what could be tens of billions of dollars in refunds. And we know we ain't getting that money back. So thank God. We'll go on to a local topic here in a second. Take a sip of water. I don't know why my display caps keep restarting. All my settings are pretty good, it looks like, so. No dropped frames, I'll have to look into that. I'll talk a little bit more about tariffs before we go. Like I was saying, we saw online with watches, many other things. If, luxuries are getting taxed up for wazoo, more, a price increase, we saw a lot of everything. Even cheap stuff. A lot of stuff from overseas, and that's we get everything nowadays. It's very rare to buy stuff from America, and when I try to, I can, but not the average American makes the kind of money I do as an engineer. So it's a little bit easier for me, is what I'll say. And I can't do that with everything. You can't do that with everything. You go broke. A local too is another thing about prices. So I got to burp real quick. is how a local one, sorry, is about Ohio gas prices are higher than Willie and Snoop Dogg right now, and combined is what I made the title. If you filled up your tank recently in Ohio, you probably experienced some sticker shock, seeing that the prices once again are higher than Willie Nelson and Snoop D-O-double-G. Over the past 3 months, Ohio has gone from having a relatively average fuel prices, relatively average amount in America, to be one of the most expensive states for gasoline in the Midwest. At several points during May, Ohio drivers are paying some of the highest gas prices in the nation, with many Northeast Ohio stations approaching or exceeding $5 per gallon for regular unleaded fuel. What is this, California? Good news, prices have started to ease slightly during the past week, according to AAA. Ohio's average regular gasoline price is currently around $4.36 per gallon, down from approximately $4.67 dollars a gallon a week ago. In the Youngstown, Warren area, the average is about $4.37, while Cleveland remains high at about $4.49. What caused the spike? The Middle East oil disruptions. The largest factor has been the turmoil in the global oil markets, stemming from a conflict involving Iran and disruptions in shipping throughout the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz is one of the world's largest and most important oil shipping lanes. When access through the strait became restricted, global crude oil prices surged above $800 per barrel, and now they're about $79, $78, causing gasoline prices across the United States to rise sharply. Because oil is traded globally, even fuel refined in the United States becomes more expensive when worldwide supply concerns emerge. Ohio drivers felt that impact almost immediately. Back in early March, Ohio's average gas price jumped for more than 60 cents in a single week, one of the largest increases in the country at the time. While we got hit harder than some other states, that's because gasoline prices aren't really determined by crude oil. Several factors affect how you pay: refinery maintenance schedules, Midwest fuel supply levels, transportation costs to get it here, state fuel requirements, and local competition between gas stations. The Midwest experienced refinery outages and maintenance issues in the spring, creating additional pressures on our supplies that help push Ohio prices above the national fuel during months of May. National average for fuel. For a period, Ohio ranked one of the most expensive states for fuel in the West Coast. For fuel outside of the West Coast. So almost California. Yuck. For Ohio, it's basically like California. That's crazy. Drivers in Cleveland, Akron, Ohio, and Youngstown and surrounding communities were particularly vocal online. Throughout May, social media posts, local Facebook groups, and neighborhood forums were filled with posts of gas station signs showing prices approaching $5 per gallon. Cleveland area averages briefly climbed into the upper $4 range. I see Trump stickers everywhere now, even here around the Youngstown area. I did that. Gas prices, yuck. For many Northeast Ohio residents who commute long distances, the impact has been significant. I see it a lot. There's a lot of people here in Youngstown that go to other cities just because of how work is and how pay is. Sometimes it's more competitive that way, or that's just how the market works for them. A driver commuting 50 miles in a day per vehicle, average 25 mpg, can easily spend $40 to $60 more per month on fuel compared with last year. I've been seeing that. It may not sound huge itself, but when combined with higher insurance costs, vehicle payments, and maintenance expenses, basically many households are feeling squeezed right now. Conversations online have basically fallen into three camps. It's because of the Middle East, it's political, and that everything's too expensive. So kind of like a bipartisan, let's agree. Prices are starting to fall. During the past 2 weeks, AMI reports of improving negotiations involving Iran and possible reopening of major shipping routes. Crude oil has fallen significantly from its recent highs, and gasoline prices in Ohio have started that trend downward. AAA data shows that Ohio prices have declined to roughly 30 cents from the last week, which is great, but not 60. Yuck. However, fuel prices have lagged behind oil prices by several weeks, so drivers may not see that benefit immediately. The bottom line for that one is that the Ohio gas price spike of spring 2026 was largely driven by the global oil market turmoil we saw. Talked about it kind of as a whole for the past couple of weeks. Prices climbed to nearly $5 a gallon, and now it's dropping. So it's good to see, and that's something we saw with Trump. And personally, dude, it happened again. That's crazy. Sorry, the capture thing keeps going out. And we kind of saw with Trump with the negotiations for months now, 2 months now. He's been saying, "Oh, we're actually negotiating, guys. We're actually negotiating." So, just funny on my end. It's probably helping him out. You know what I mean? That's what they want, especially before these elections here in November. They don't want to get swept that hard. That would suck. But gas prices have definitely screwed people's budgets. I've seen even people on the right that, crucified Biden for it, saying that, "Oh, gas is bad right now. It's the Middle East." Like, that's Trump's fault, too. And we all know that, and they know that, too. They just don't like saying it. And I get it. That's really it for me. We'll be back here next week with Tommy. He just started something. What did he start? I'm sorry, my bad. He was just busy today. He had some errands to run. Yuck, yuck, yuck. But I hope everyone has a great week. I will be here on Thursday with the Northeast Ohio Sports Show. Maybe me and Hunter will be talking about the Browns trade that just happened today. Myles Garrett went for a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. GOAT, probably like a 10-time Pro Bowler for the Browns now. If he's been in the league 10 years, he's probably getting close. He's probably like 6 to 8. Got traded to LA, so that sucks. We'll be talking about that on Thursday. Talking about some races. We'll be at Detroit for IndyCar on Sunday. NASCAR at Nashville on Sunday as well. F1's here this weekend in Monaco, and I believe we still have like NASCAR going on. I think IndyCar takes about a week off. I think the 7th is their next race. So actually, IndyCar is racing again this weekend. We'll be talking about that. We'll be back here next Monday, here at 8:30. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by here for Week Ahead News Show here on the Lee Doodle channel with me, Liam. Make sure you drop a like, support us any other way you can, and drop a comment, give us any comments and feedback. We'd love that. Have a great night, guys, and a great rest of your week.